Barnaul is a city in the administrative center of Altai Krai, Russia, located along the Ob River in the West Siberian Plain. At the end of 2014, the city had a population of around 700,000 people. The population of the Barnaul metropolitan area is estimated to be over 1.14 million. Geography: Barnaul is the closest major city to the Altai Mountains to the south. The city is also situated relatively close to the border with the countries of Kazakhstan, Mongolia, and China. History. Ancient history. The area around the city has been inhabited by modern humans, Neanderthals and Denisovans, for hundreds of thousands of years. In the late BC millennia, the locality was the center of activity for Scythians and various Turkic peoples. Russian Empire. Barnaul was founded in 1730. Originally chosen for its proximity to the mineral-rich Altai Mountains and its location on a major river, the site was founded by the wealthy Demidov family in the 1730s. In addition to the copper which had originally attracted the Demidovs, substantial deposits of silver were soon found as well. In 1747, the Demidovs' factories were taken over by the Crown, and soon became the center of silver production in the Russian Empire. By the 1900s, Barnaul had grown into a major center of trade and culture of the region, especially after the construction of the Turkestan-Siberia Railway. In 1914, Barnaul was the site of a draft riot, Russia's largest during World War I, which resulted in over 100 casualties. World War II. Although the city was thousands of miles away from the actual fighting, hundreds of thousands of citizens from Altai Krai fought and died at the front in the course of the Second World War, a fact commemorated by a large memorial in central Barnaul. It is estimated that over half of the light ammunition used by the Soviet Union in World War II was produced in Barnaul. Administrative and municipal status: Barnaul is the administrative center of the Krai. Within the framework of administrative divisions, it is, together with the work settlement of Yuzhny and 24 rural localities, incorporated as the city of Krai. Significance of Barnaul: an administrative unit with the status equal to that of the districts. As a municipal division, the city of Krai. Significance of Barnaul is incorporated as Barnaul Urban Okrug. Climate: the continental climate of Barnaul is defined by its geographical position at the southern end of the Siberian steppe. It is subject to long winters, with an average of 15.5 degrees Celsius in January, but also enjoys a short warm season in the summer with an average temperature of plus 19.9 degrees Celsius in July. Temperatures can vary in the extreme, from below 45 degrees Celsius in the winter to above plus 35 degrees Celsius in the summer. The climate is relatively dry. The average precipitation in the area is 433 mm per year, 75% of which occurs during the region's warmer season. Economy: Barnaul is an important industrial center of western Siberia. There are more than 100 industrial enterprises in the city, employing approximately 120,000 people. Leading industries in the city work with diesel and carbon processing, as well as production of heavy machinery, tires, furniture and footwear. Transportation: Barnaul has air, railway, road and riverboat links to other parts of Russia. The city lies approximately 220 kilometers south of Novosibirsk. It is at a junction of the Novosibirsk-Almaty and Birsk train lines. There are also frequent buses to nearby cities Birsk and Gorno-Altesk. Barnaul Airport is located about 15 minutes from the center of the city and offers daily flights to and from Moscow and St. Petersburg, as well as to regional and international destinations. Education and culture: Barnaul is an important regional center of scientific development. 5 universities, including Altai State Technical University, Barnaul State Pedagogical University, Altai State Medical University, Altai State Agrarian University and Altai State University, as well as 35 libraries are located in the city. Barnaul also has 5 theaters and 3 museums. The city's Museum of Local Law was founded in 1823 and is one of the oldest in Siberia, displaying local artists' work as well as unique artifacts from the Altai region. The city also has the South Siberian Botanical Garden, linked to Altai State University. Architecture and sightseeing. At first the city was built according to the architecture of St. Petersburg, which shaped the look of the central part of the city as a regular city. Barnaul has over 20 architecture memorials of 18th and the first half of 19th century, created in Classicism style, a unique complex of silver smelting factory, Demidov Square, etc. A lot of decorated wooden buildings were destroyed with a big fire on the 2 of May in 1917. Brick buildings were also destroyed. Later in the 1930s many churches and cathedrals of Barnaul were demolished or rebuilt. The only biggest historical building that survived the times is Pokrovsky Cathedral, which is now free to visit for everyone. After 1930 Barnaul got several buildings of constructivism style, for example, a sewing factory on Vorovskogo Street. In 1930 to 1950 the most of the buildings of Lenin Street were created. The street is the main street of the city and it's one of the favorite places for walking. The street starts from Lev Tolstoy Street and ends at the October Square, which is one of the most noted squares of the city. There are several popular places on the street as well, for example, the Cosmos Fountain or the Null Kilometer Monument. Close to the Ob River, there are huge letters THTHTHTHTHTHTHP, which is the name of the city in Cyrillic. The letters are situated on the hill next to the river. The locals call the letters a Hollywood. In 2015 the Barnaul government decided to refresh the area around the letters and in 2016 there should be a park for entertainment and recreation. Barnaul has several nature parks. Sports. Since 1957 FC Dynamo Barnaul has been the city's professional football club. Twin towns and sister cities. Barnaul is twinned with Flagstaff, Arizona, United States, Zaragoza, Aragon, Spain, Ust-Kamenogorsk, Kazakhstan, Changjihui Autonomous Prefecture, Xinjiang, China. Notable people: Pyotr Kosmich Frolov, scientist and inventor; Tatiana Kotleva, Olympic champion in long jump; Julian Yegel, singer, songwriter; Ivan Nifontov, Olympic champion in taekwondo; Anna Nikolskaya-Exley, writer of children's books and sci-fi; Alexei Novikov Proboy, writer; Ivan Polzanov, inventor, creator of the first two-cylinder engine in the world; Konstantin Sherbakov, pianist; Sergei Shubenkov, track and field athlete, 2015 world champion; Nadezhda Shuvaeva-Okova, Olympic champion in basketball; Alexei Smertin, former captain of the Russian national football team; Rita Stryk, coloratura soprano; Nikolai Odrintsev, explorer and archaeologist. Discoveries include the Orkhon script, Genghis Khan's capital, Karakorum; Mikhail Yevdokimov, comedian and former governor of Altai Krai; Kot Barsik, the leading mayor candidate in the 2015 December mayor election, for the citizens' dismay towards corruptive political environment of the city. Images of Barnaul. See also, Nagorny Park, Centralny City District, Barnaul. References. Notes. Sources. THTHNTH degree TH to the first NTHTHTH to the first THN euro TH degree TH micron TH squared TH 3/4 TH to the first TH 3/4 TH squared TH micron NTH 1/2 TH degree N euro TH 3/4 TH TH 1/2 N on TH TH micron TH N florin NTH degree NTH 3/4 TH squared TH TH degree TH TH 3/4 TH 1/2 a minus 28 TH 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 3/4 N1 TH 1/4 TH degree N euro N TH degree 2008 TH cubed. A TH plus or minus TH degree TH TH 1/4 TH TH 1/2 TH N on euro TH degree N TH TH squared TH 1/2 TH 3/4 N TH micron N euro TH N TH 3/4 N euro TH TH degree TH noeth 1/2 TH 3/4 TH 1/4 N florin N on euro TH 3/4 TH to the first N TH squared TH micron TH TH N TH degree TH to the first N TH TH 3/4 TH cubed TH 3/4 TH N euro TH degree NA, TH squared N. Euro th micron th degree th 3 quarters th 1 half th degree a minus 53 th 3 quarters n 19 th 1 half n 2014 th cubed. A th plus or minus n florin th n euro th degree th 1 half th micron th 1 half th n euro th degree th n sh micron th degree 44 th 1 quarter th sh 3 quarters th 1 half n th 3 quarters n th 1 half n th 3 quarters th cubed th 3 quarters n th micron th no n th 3 quarters th squared th micron n th degree th sh 3 quarters n th 1 half n th 3 quarters th cubed th 3 quarters n euro th degree th to the first th 3 quarters th 1 half th degree th n th degree th to the first n th 3 quarters th cubed th 3 quarters th n euro th degree n th squared th 1 half th micron n th micron th 1 half th 1 quarter th micron th 1 half th micron th 1 half th to the first th squared th 3 quarters n th micron th noeth 1 half n th micron th degree th 3 quarters th 1 half n n degree th to the first n th 3 quarters th cubed th 3 quarters n euro th degree n n florin th squared n n 8 florins th 1 quarter th degree n euro n degree 2008 th cubed th n florin th plus or minus th 3 quarters th squared th degree th 1 half th n degree th to the first n degree n euro th degree th squared th degree, a minus 67, 8 th 1 quarter th degree n euro n degree 2008 th cubed. n degree th to the first n 3 quarters micron n euro degree micron squared 3 quarters micron degree 3 quarters 1 half 3 quarters degree n micron noeth 1 half 3 quarters micron 3 quarters plus or minus n euro degree 1 half micron degree 3 quarters 1 half a minus 144 th 3 quarters n 27 micron degree plus or minus n euro n 2008 cubed. ANN degree n on florin n micron cubed n euro degree 1 half n degree n 1 quarter n florin 1 half n degree noeth 1 half 3 quarters cubed 3 quarters degree 1 quarter 1 half n on euro degree n squared 1 half 3 quarters n micron n euro n 3 quarters n euro degree noeth 1 half 3 quarters cubed. 3 quarters 3 quarters plus or minus n euro degree 3 quarters squared degree 1 half n cubed 3 quarters n euro 3 quarters degree n euro 1 half degree n florin n degree to the first n 3 quarters cubed 3 quarters n euro degree n squared n euro micron degree 3 quarters 1 half degree a minus 44 th th 3/4 n2 th n th n 2009 th cubed a th squared th 1/2 th micron n th micron th 1/2 th th 1/4 th micron th 1/2 th micron th 1/2 th to the first th squared thin euro th 3/4 th paragraph th micron th 1/2 th micron 1 th degree th 3/4 th 1/2 n florin th n degree th to the first n th 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th n euro th degree n degree n on florin n micron th cubed n euro th degree th 1/2 th n degree n 1/4 n florin th 1/2 th n degree th noeth 1/2 th 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th degree th 1/4 th 1/2 th n on euro th degree n squared th 1/2 th 3/4 n micron n euro th n 3/4 n euro th degree th knoweth 1/2 th 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th 3/4 th plus or minus n euro th degree th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th n cubed th 3/4 n euro th 3/4 th degree n euro th 1/2 th degree n florin th n degree th to the first n th 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th n euro th degree n ath n on florin th squared n n florin n micron n euro th micron th 10 th 1/2 th micron th to the first th 3/4 n th micron th 1/2 n 3/4 n degree th knoweth 1/2 th 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th 3/4 th n florin th plus or minus th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th n n florin th plus or minus th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th n degree th to the first n degree n euro th degree th squared th degree a minus 5 a euro 6 15 n 1/2 th squared th degree n euro n 2009 th cubed. External links: Barnaul travel guide from Wiki Voyage, Barnaul.org official website of Barnaul, weather in Barnaul, pictures of Barnaul.